Sophia hesitated before walking over. When the person turned to her face, she froze. It was a man she didn't recognize, dressed in a sleek black suit, his eyes hidden behind sunglasses. "You came," he said, his voice calm and smooth. Sophia didn't speak immediately. She studied him carefully, unsure of what to make of him. Who was he and why did he want to help her? "I have questions," she said finally. "Who are you and what do you want from me?" The man smiled, his expression unreadable. "You don't need to know my name. What matters is that I can help you. You've made mistakes, Sophia. But the truth is, everyone makes them. What's important is what you do next. The question is, are you ready to take control of your life?" Sophia felt a sense of unease wash over her. There was something about his calm demeanor that both comforted and unnerved her. She nodded slowly. "I am ready, but what do I have to do?" He leaned in closer, his voice dropping to a whisper. "There is more to this than just your mistakes. You need to clean up your image. Yes, but you also need to take down the people who have been pulling the strings behind all this. The ones who have been using you as a pawn. You've been living a lie, but it's not just your fault. There are others who have been benefiting from your fall from grace." Sophia's eyes widened. "What do you mean? Who are these people?" The man sat back, his eyes scanning the room before she spoke again. "People like Amanda and others in the industry who have been using you for their own gain. They've all played a part in your rise and your fall. It's time to expose them." Sophia felt a cold chill run down her spine. This was bigger than she had ever imagined. She had always thought she was the one in control of her life. But now she realized how wrong she had been. Amanda's betrayal, the leaked audio, it wasn't just a mistake, it was a part of something much bigger. But as much as she wanted to trust this mysterious man, part of her was still unsure. Could she really expose everyone who had been using her? And would that truly fix the damage? "You want me to expose them?" Sophia asked, her voice trembling. The man nodded. "Yes, and you can. You are stronger than you think. You just have to be willing to face the truth and take the power back. The world doesn't need to see you as a victim anymore. You can rewrite your story, but only if you're willing to do what it takes." Sophia sat back in her chair, her mind racing. The path ahead wasn't going to be easy. It was dangerous and it would force her to confront everything she had been running from. But for the first time in a long while, she felt like she had a chance to take control again. "All right," she said, her voice steady. "I am in. Let's do this." The man smiled, his expression cold but approving. "Good. We start tonight." Sophia sat there, her heart racing as the man's words hung in the air. She had just agreed to something she couldn't fully comprehend. But deep down, she knew she had no other choice. She was trapped in a web of lies, and if she wanted to free herself, this was the only way out. The man leaned forward, his eyes never leaving hers. "You will need to be strategic. The people you are going after are powerful, and they won't go down easily. But you've got something they don't. The truth." Sophia swallowed hard. Truth? She had barely begun to understand the truth of her own situation. What could she possibly have to expose that would change everything? "Start by going through your connections," the man continued. "There is more than just Amanda. She's a small part of it. Look deeper. The people who have been controlling your image, pulling your strings, will be your next targets." Sophia nodded slowly, trying to digest his words. It sounded like a lot of work, a lot of danger, but she also understood the gravity of it. She had to uncover the truth, or she would remain a pawn in their game forever. "How do I even begin?" she asked, her voice quieter now. The man smiled, a calculating look in his eyes. "You start by taking a closer look at the people you trust. Start with those who have benefited from your fame. They know more than they've let on." Sophia's mind was already turning. searching through the names of people who had been around her friends, her managers, her business partners. The more she thought about it, the more she realized how many people had been getting something out of her rise to fame, but who had been pulling the strings behind the scenes. "I'll start tonight," she said, her voice filled with determination. "I'll find out who's been using me." "Good. But remember, Sophia, this won't be easy. You will face backlash, and you will lose some people you care about. But in the end, it will all be worth it." Sophia stood up too, ready to leave the rooftop bar. But before she could walk away, the man's voice stopped her. "Be careful who you trust, Sophia. The closer you get to the truth, the more dangerous it becomes. People will try to stop you, and they won't hesitate to use your weaknesses against you. Stay focused." She nodded, her resolve hardening. She had been used for too long, and it was time to take her power back. No more running, no more pretending. The world would see the real Sophia, the one who was ready to fight for her own story. As she stepped out of the bar and into the cool night air, Sophia's phone buzzed again. This time, it was a message from Amanda. "I didn't mean to hurt you," the message read. "I was just so caught up in wanting to be like you, to have the life you have. Please don't hate me, I am sorry." Sophia stared at the message, the weight of it settling over her like a dark cloud. Amanda's apology was too little, too late. She had already made her choice. The betrayal ran too deep. Sophia quickly typed a response. "It's too late, Amanda. I am done with you." She hit send before she could second-guess herself. The truth was, she didn't need Amanda anymore. She had everything she needed within herself. The truth, her story. Sophia stood tall, looking out over the city of Lagos as the night unfolded before her. She had a plan, and now it was time to set in motion. The next few days were a blur of meetings and calls. Sophia reached out to old contacts, searching for any clue that could help her uncover the web of lies. She knew she had to be careful. There were people watching her, people who wouldn't hesitate to silence her if they thought she was getting too close to the truth. But she was determined. Each day, she felt stronger, more confident in her ability to expose the lies that had controlled her life for so long. One evening, Sophia was sitting in her apartment, going through some old messages on her phone when she stumbled upon something unexpected. It was an old conversation with one of her former managers, someone she hadn't spoken to in months. The messages were cryptic, but there was one line that caught her attention. "The deal is done. You will get what you wanted. Just keep quiet." Sophia's pulse quickened. What deal was this? Who was involved, and why had she never noticed it before? She grabbed her phone and sent a message to the mysterious man who had reached out to her earlier. "I found something. A conversation about a deal." "What does it mean?" The reply came quickly. "You are getting closer. Keep digging. The truth will come out soon." Sophia's heart raced. She was on the right track. But as she looked out of her window at the lights of the city, she knew that the closer she got to the truth, the more dangerous it would become. Whoever had been pulling the strings didn't want their secrets exposed. But Sophia was ready. She had come too far to turn back now. Sophia continued to dig, each day uncovering more pieces of the puzzle. The messages, the calls, and the meetings felt like a whirlwind, but she was determined to uncover everything. She couldn't back down now. She had come too far. She spent countless hours reading old contracts and going through messages from people she had once trusted. Slowly, the pieces of the puzzle started falling into place. The people who had once praised her for her beauty and influence had only been using her for their own gain. Her manager, who had acted like a friend, who had been one of the key players in making deals with big companies and celebrities to boost Sophia's image. But it wasn't just about the contracts. It was about the deals that had kept her in the spotlight. and the way they had manipulated her into thinking that she was the one in control. One evening, while reviewing an old email chain, Sophia found something shocking. There, buried in a series of conversations between her old manager and other powerful people, was a detailed plan to use her relationship with Burna Boy as a way to increase her followers and create more buzz. They had carefully crafted the illusion of luxury and fame, using her to sell a lifestyle that wasn't real. And the Lamborghini, Burna Boy's gift, was just a part of the act. Her heart sank as she read through the messages. She had been part of a game that wasn't about her at all. She was just a tool, a puppet in someone else's plan to make money and build an empire. All this time, she had thought she was living the dream, but it was all a lie. Sophia took a deep breath, the weight of the truth finally settling on her shoulders. She had been used, but she wasn't going to let that define her. She knew that now was the moment to take action. She had the power to expose everything, the lies, the manipulation, and the people who had taken advantage of her. The next morning, Sophia posted a message on her Instagram page, her fingers shaking as she typed. She took a deep breath before she hit send. I've been living a lie, and it's time I tell the truth. I am not who you think I am. I have made mistakes, but I am ready to take responsibility for my actions. To those who have supported me, I am sorry for the deception. To those who have used me, this is where it ends. The truth will come out and no one can silence me anymore. The message was bold, shocking, and raw. Sophia knew it would send shock waves through the social media world, but she wasn't afraid anymore. It was time to stop hiding. It was time to stop pretending. Almost immediately, the messages started flooding in. Some of her followers were supportive, thanking her for being honest. Others were angry, accusing her of betraying them. But Sophia didn't care. She had taken the first step towards reclaiming her life. As the days went by, Sophia continued to expose the truth. She shared her story, how she had been manipulated, how the people she trusted had used her for their own gain. It wasn't easy. There were moments when she felt like giving up, when the backlash was too much to handle. But she kept going. She knew she had to. She couldn't keep living in the shadows. Slowly, things started to change. People began to see Sophia not as a victim, but as someone who had taken control of her own story. She began to rebuild her image, this time on her own terms. She started using her platform to promote positive messages, to encourage others to be honest and true to themselves. Her followers grew, but this time, it wasn't about luxury or fame. It was about something deeper. It was about authenticity. In the end, Sophia learned some hard truths. She had been swept up in the glamorous world of fame and luxury, but at what cost? She had given away pieces of herself, believing that the life she was living was real. But now she understood that true happiness doesn't come from material things or the approval of others. It comes from being true to who you are, from accepting your mistakes, and from having the courage to face the truth, even when it's difficult. Sophia had lost a lot, but she had also gained something far more valuable: self-respect, clarity, and the strength to move forward. Moral lessons. 1. Truth is powerful. No matter how hard it is to face, the truth will always set you free. Pretending to be someone you're not only leads to pain and confusion. It's better to confront the truth and deal with the consequences. 2. Be careful who you trust. Sometimes the people closest to you may not have your best interest at heart. Be cautious about who you let into your life, especially when it comes to your personal and professional decisions. 3. Self-worth comes from within. True happiness doesn't come from external validation or material things. It comes from within. You must learn to value yourself for who you are, not for what others think of you. 4. Taking responsibility for your actions. When you make mistakes, own them. Taking responsibility shows strength and integrity. It's the first step towards growth and healing. 5. It's never too late to change. No matter how far you've fallen or how lost you may feel, it's never too late to make things right. Change is possible, and the first step is always the hardest. Sophia's journey wasn't easy, but it was one she needed to go through. And in the end, she came out stronger, wiser, and more at peace with herself than ever before. We have come to the end of the story. If you love this video, please kindly share with your loved ones, leave us a comment on your opinion, and subscribe for another interesting video like this. Until I see you all on the next one. Bye for now.